The movie opens with Dio, a struggling scriptwriter, finding himself trapped in a desperate creative void for his latest project. As he sits in the somber waiting room of the hospital's intensive care unit, uncertainty fills the air like a dense fog. Amidst this chaos, a nurse approaches Dio, burdening him with the overwhelming responsibility of settling the patient's administrative expenses. Dio's heart aches, not just for his own creative stagnation, but also for his mother, who lies critically ill in the ICU, battling a merciless heart condition. The doctor's grim warning lingers in Dio's mind, like a dark omen, foretelling the impending loss of his beloved mother. Caught in a web of medical bills and hospital fees, Dio's spirit sinks into a deep well of despair. Yet, even in the face of such adversity, he refuses to surrender. Determined to make ends meet, he fights to scrape together a living. Just as Dio returns to his seat, attempting to resurrect his dormant imagination, a woman enters the waiting room, her arms laden with a procession of chairs. The clatter of the chairs disrupts Dio's focus, scattering his thoughts. In the midst of Dio's struggle, a sudden interruption jolted him back to reality, an urgent call from his boss demanding the immediate completion of his task. Writing a love story was unfamiliar territory for Dio, and the idea of blending romance with comedy in a melancholic setting seemed utterly impossible. With a heavy sigh, Dio returned to his seat, desperately attempting to regain his focus. Yet, his attention was captured by a woman engrossed in prayer, her words resounding with clarity and purpose. Unbeknownst to himself, Dio found his pen scribbling down every prayer uttered by the woman. The realization hit him like a thunderbolt, causing him to let out an unintentional scream, enveloping the room in an awkward silence. And just when things couldn't get any stranger, Dio struggled to suppress an unexpected hiccup that emerged from within. The woman cast a perplexed gaze upon him, only to surprise him with an explosive burst of a plastic balloon, her smile indicating that this peculiar remedy was her secret weapon against hiccups. As if by magic, Dio's persistent hiccup vanished, opening the door to a newfound connection between him and the lively woman named Bua, a cherished music teacher. Intrigued by Dio's script, Bua eagerly expressed her desire to read it. Uncertainty clouded Dio's mind, but he couldn't resist the earnest plea of Bua, her beautiful face adorned with curiosity. Relenting to her request, Dio passed his laptop to Bua, containing the precious manuscript. However, she posed an unexpected challenge. She wanted Dio to reveal the story's ending. Dio hesitated, explaining that as the reader, Bua should embark on the same journey as the characters, discovering their fate within the confines of their unique circumstances. After all, Dio's script consisted of 4 interwoven storylines, each holding a distinct conclusion. Immersed in the script crafted by Dio, Bua delved into the opening tale called Someone on the Other Side. This captivating story revolved around Com, a male protagonist whose life intersected with a woman's during the throes of the COVID pandemic. It all began when Com, an ordinary office worker, triumphed in a soccer match bet with his friend. Emboldened by his victory, Com's friend proposed a new wager, endure a 2-week quarantine within their apartment building, with 2 crates of beer on the line for the winner. 3 days into the quarantine, restlessness plagued Com's spirit. Seeking respite from the monotony, he resorted to an audacious act. He ordered a drink via a drone. However, Com's attempt at technological escapade went awry as the drone veered uncontrollably towards a woman engrossed in the simple task of drying her underwear, her figure draped only in a towel. Com's friend, captivated by this anecdote, amended the bet, injecting a sizable cash prize. Now, the challenge lay before Com to capture the woman's within 2 weeks. On the following day, from across the building, the woman engaged in a heartfelt conversation with her friend over the phone. This woman, Jingjing, worked as a flight attendant and had recently endured a painful breakup, striving to heal and move forward. With concern etched on her face, Jingjing pleaded with her friend, Ice, who was hospitalized, to promptly introduce her mysterious boyfriend. Doubts plagued Jingjing's mind, fearing that Ice's partner might lead a double life, prone to infidelity. To Jingjing's surprise, Com's drone returned to her, bearing an apologetic note, a packet of snacks, and a chat ID. Their connection grew steadily as Com and Jingjing began exchanging messages, creating a virtual realm of romance to fill the confines of their quarantine. Together, they ventured into countless intimate gestures and shared experiences to fill the quarantine time. As Jingjing's interest in Com began to grow, a heavy burden of guilt weighed upon him. He couldn't bear the thought of Jingjing discovering the truth and experiencing deep disappointment. Moreover, Com's girlfriend would soon return, adding to his inner turmoil. Succumbing to the weight of his conscience, Com admitted his defeat in this game of deceit and resolved to bring it all to an end. Meanwhile, Ice, who had recently been discharged from the hospital, arrived at Jingjing's apartment. Shortly thereafter, Com also appeared, bracing himself to confront Jingjing and explain the tangled web of their shared experiences. With a heavy heart, he reluctantly revealed that everything they had gone through thus far had been an elaborate charade. Jingjing's tears flowed freely as Combe confessed his existing relationship with his girlfriend, and her heart shattered even further upon realizing that the girlfriend in question was none other than Ice, her own dear friend. Bua's heart jolted with astonishment as she reached the unexpected ending of the script. Dio, ever the unconventional storyteller, explained his aversion to happy endings, believing that life's conclusion remained shrouded in uncertainty, devoid of guaranteed happiness. As time passed, Dio's script continued to flourish, evolving with each passing day, and Bua remained captivated by his creative journey, never growing weary of witnessing his progress. The next story, titled Next Door, unfolded within the realms of high school. It revolved around Tur, a mischievous student who found himself developing feelings for Chaeyeon, a classmate and neighbor in his community. Tur's eyes often lingered upon the school banner, proudly displaying Chaeyeon's face as the top student. However, Tur felt a stark contrast between their personalities. Hye, a troublemaker, often embarrassed his mother, who happened to be a teacher, with his unruly behavior. Tur and Chaeyeon, longtime neighbors whose houses stood side by side, had never shared a harmonious relationship. Chaeyeon, often referred to as the Ice Queen, exuded an aura of coldness, rarely allowing a smile to grace her lips. However, an unforeseen twist of fate sent Tur spiraling into a state of confusion when Chaeyeon embarked on a journey to study in China. Without a clear reason, Tur found himself adrift, unsettled by her departure. Several months later, a message arrived, a chat ID from one of their school teachers, who happened to live close to Tur's house. In the depths of that fateful night, Tur unraveled the mystery of the chat ID's sender. It was none other than Chaeyeon, the very girl he harbored mixed feelings towards, but whose absence had left him feeling adrift. Chaeyeon had reached out to Tur for a specific reason, to seek his assistance. Her father's infrequent presence at home weighed heavily on her, and she fretted over her grandmother's solitude, as the elderly woman resided solely with the housekeeper. Driven by compassion, Tur wholeheartedly embraced Chaeyeon's pleas, fulfilling her request to deliver nourishing meals and keep her grandmother company. He recognized the enormity of the task at hand, for her grandmother was aged and grappling with the trials of Alzheimer's disease. With each passing day, as Tur and Chaeyeon continued their heartfelt conversations, a warmth blossomed within Tur's heart. Chaeyeon's sweet smile had the power to thaw the icy barriers around her, revealing a tender side that Tur never anticipated. News of Chaeyeon's impending return filled him with joy, but that excitement soon crumbled when he learned that the COVID-19 pandemic had prompted the Chinese government to enforce restrictions, including the shutdown of Shanghai. Uncertainty shrouded Chaeyeon's homecoming, and an overwhelming sense of longing for her homeland engulfed her. During a poignant video call that evening, Chaeyeon expressed her bewilderment at the depth of their newfound connection. Although they had been neighbors for a significant period, they had never engaged in such profound conversations. Tur explained that their worlds had fundamentally diverged until now. Then, in a moment of vulnerability, Chaeyeon implored if she could enter Tur's world upon her return. However, their call abruptly disconnected, leaving Tur in silence, unaware of Chaeyeon's words. Meanwhile, Chaeyeon reminisced about their shared past, recalling the moments she had observed Tur from a distance and secretly captured glimpses of him in photographs. It became evident that Chaeyeon had carried a secret affection for Tur for a prolonged period. Their differences, once perceived as insurmountable barriers, became inconsequential in the face of love's undeniable power. Dio's second story left Bua in a state of emotional turmoil, for its conclusion remained elusive. Her heart yearned to discover the fate of Chaeyeon's return, the revelation of her feelings for Tur, and what lay ahead for their blossoming love story. The unfinished ending stirred Bua's emotions, yet Dio offered an intriguing perspective. Unresolved conclusions invite the audience to interpret the storyline, adding their unique essence to the narrative. In Dio's third creation, titled Someone Hated, a tale of adrenaline and vexation unfolded. The story centered around Odd, an enthusiastic courier with a penchant for racing, and an enigmatic rider who persistently irked him. Under the shroud of night, at an intersection cloaked in crimson hues, Odd's path collided with a mysterious rider, a fellow courier from a rival company. Their fierce rivalry had been ignited through a series of adrenaline-fueled races, where Odd could only boast a single victory out of 3 encounters. Determined to prove his skills once more, Odd yearned to seize the title of the fastest. Yet, his aspirations were cruelly shattered when a moment of distraction caused him to careen into a heap of discarded refuse, his dreams crumbling like a house of cards. With a broken motorcycle as his somber companion, Odd trudged home, greeted by the expectant presence of his younger sister, Ing. Unlike her peers, Ing harbored no fondness for dolls. Instead, her imagination soared beyond earthly bounds, captivated by the wonder of rockets. In her tender voice, she shared her dreams of crafting a rocket that could transport her to any place she desired. The night grew heavy with sorrow as Ing confronted Odd, yearning to know when their father would return home. The weight of their father's illness burdened their lives, suffocating them beneath the weight of exorbitant medical bills. In a desperate bid to alleviate their financial strain, Odd resolved to partake in a reckless race, risking his prized gold necklace for a chance to earn quick cash. However, the plans took an unexpected turn when the race schedule was abruptly changed, the area swarming with the presence of vigilant police officers. Odd's motorcycle faltered at a crucial moment, threatening to shatter his hopes. Yet, salvation arrived in the form of a mysterious rider, revealing herself to be a stunning woman. Together, they sought refuge and sustenance within the aisles of a humble minimarket. Astonishment gripped Odd as he discovered that the enigmatic rider possessed an uncanny knowledge of his life. Amidst this serendipitous encounter, she delivered a chilling revelation: participating in the impending wild race would spell his demise. Initially, Odd dismissed her words as a jest, but the weight of her warning lingered in his thoughts. Compounded by her insistence that she had traveled from afar to meet him, she implored him not to disappoint her. Despite harboring doubts about the girl's claims of fortune-telling or time travel, Odd found himself caught in a moment of profound hesitation. The weight of her words resonated within him, for the thought of his potential demise weighed heavily on his conscience. Above all, his concern centered around his younger sister, left vulnerable and alone in a world devoid of his care. Faced with this agonizing choice, Odd felt compelled to proceed with the race, but at the last possible moment, he relinquished his intent, racing instead to the hospital. In a twist of fate, Odd encountered a mysterious girl at the hospital, bearing a box brimming with money, the fruits of her triumph in a previous race. She extended the funds to Odd, recognizing his dire need. Overwhelmed by curiosity, Odd questioned the girl's true identity. Just before vanishing into the elevator, a knowing smile adorned her face, revealing a rocket tattoo etched upon her neck. In that moment of revelation, Odd's heart seized with understanding. The girl before him was none other than his younger sister, journeying from the future. Bua found herself deeply moved by Diao's latest story. In the hospital waiting room that night, she expressed her longing for someone from the future to unveil the mysteries that lay ahead. Regardless of the news, be it joyful or sorrowful, the mere assurance of knowledge would provide solace, freeing her from the suffocating grip of uncertainty. Diao, to some extent, grasped the essence of Bua's words, prompting him to inquire about the person she visited at the hospital. Bua revealed that her boyfriend resided within those walls, bidding her farewell as she embarked on her journey homeward. Diao remained silent, visibly taken aback by this revelation, and they delved into their next tale. In Diao's final story, titled Secret Admirer, the spotlight shone on Sua, a diligent convenience store employee harboring a secret affection for a familiar face amongst his store's visitors. The narrative unfolded within the confines of Sua's workplace, where he shared a close bond with his friend Tom. Sua's idiosyncratic nature encompassed peculiar habits like organizing drink bottles, searching for fleas on dogs, and committing customers' names to memory. However, what truly captivated Sua about his job was the night shift, for it was during those quiet hours that he had the opportunity to encounter Ja, a beautiful nurse who frequented his store during her breaks. Sua's heart longed for Ja, but his affection remained unreciprocated. Unbeknownst to Sua, Ja held a fondness for the dentist at the clinic where she worked, leaving thoughtful snacks for him almost every day. Driven by curiosity, Sua and his friend Tom ventured to the clinic, yearning to catch a glimpse of the man who had captured Ja's attention. Anxious about being discovered, Sua concocted the excuse of needing a dental checkup, allowing him the opportunity to finally meet Dr. Noom face to face. Seeking Bua's insightful perspective, Diao yearned for her opinion on his script. Bua expressed her admiration for individuals who possessed unwavering determination, advising Diao to infuse this element into his story. Within the confines of the hospital waiting room, a nurse delivered a message to Bua, summoning her to meet with the doctor. Diao offered words of encouragement, hoping that good news awaited her. However, days passed without a glimpse of Bua, leaving Diao feeling adrift and powerless. His heart leapt with joy when he finally spotted her amidst the hospital corridors, brightening the lives of the elderly patients. Unbeknownst to Diao, Bua had embarked on a journey of prayers and acts of kindness for her ailing boyfriend. The doctor's call delivered the devastating news that time was slipping away for her beloved. Dumbfounded and overwhelmed, Diao struggled to find the right words. He realized that behind Bua's resilient smile, a torrent of sadness engulfed her. Refusing to succumb to despair, Bua sought solace in the continuation of the movie's script. The story unfurled as Sua, amid his break, found solace in the pages of a dentistry book. Though seemingly improbable, Sua sensed a calling to explore an alternative path, yearning to discover if a different way of life could alter his destiny. In the midst of that fateful night, Ja sought out Sua, bearing news that Dr. Noom had finally reciprocated her affection by inviting her to a dinner at his inn. Ja radiated joy, unaware of the turmoil stirring within Sua. Concealing his heartache, Sua feigned happiness upon hearing the news, while his astute friend, Tom, discerned the weight of the situation. Tom sensed that this dinner held a significance beyond a mere social gathering, signaling the end of Sua's hopes. Overwhelmed with grief, Sua discarded his dentistry book into the depths of a nearby trash bin, symbolizing the shattered remnants of his dreams. Days passed, and through the torrential rain, Ja arrived at the convenience store in the dead of night. Absent was her customary smile, replaced by an air of somberness. With a heavy heart, Ja confessed to Sua that she had been foolish, standing beside him in the damp darkness. In the aftermath of that ill-fated night, Ja discovered the bitter truth. Dr. Noom, whom she had been intimate with, had a girlfriend all along. Enraged by the betrayal and unwilling to tolerate the manipulation, Sua unleashed his fury upon Dr. Noom at the clinic, reducing him to a state of helplessness. The realization that the person he held affection for had played with his emotions proved too much for Sua to bear. From that moment forward, Ja vanished from the hospital, bidding farewell to her colleagues as she resigned and retreated to her hometown. Whispers of rumors circulated, alleging that she had given birth to a child without the sanctity of marriage. Meanwhile, Sua, engulfed by disillusionment, also chose to leave his job shortly after. His whereabouts remained unknown to his friend, Tom, but Tom clung to a belief that Sua was destined to embark on a purposeful journey. 5 years later, Ja walked into the dental clinic, her heart pounding with a mix of excitement and nervousness. Her beloved son clung to her hand, his wide eyes filled with curiosity. As they entered the clinic, a wave of nostalgia washed over Ja. Little did she know that this visit would mark the beginning of a long-awaited reunion. Inside, amidst the gleaming white walls and the scent of antiseptic, Ja's eyes locked with Sua's. Her heart skipped a beat as she realized that the young man in front of her was none other than Sua, her long-lost love. He had transformed into a skilled dentist, a testament to his unwavering determination and love for Ja. Fate had granted him the opportunity to pursue his dreams, and in doing so, had paved the way for their unexpected reunion. Bua's heart overflowed with joy as she witnessed the happy ending of Diao's story. Following Bua's advice, Diao portrayed his character's unwavering determination, and it made all the difference. Diao firmly believed that each person could carve their own path in life, even if it seemed like mere wishful thinking. With sheer willpower and relentless effort, anything was possible. Bua may not have been well-versed in writing, but her insightful comments, constructive criticism, and valuable suggestions after reading the script played a crucial role in Diao's development as a writer. Unbeknownst to them, Bua's mere presence exerted a profound positive influence on Diao. Her support propelled him to excel in his assignment, unaware of the impact it had on his creative process. Simultaneously, the script brought solace to Bua amidst the melancholy she was grappling with, serving as a comforting refuge. It was a testament that destiny had woven their lives together for a purpose. In the summer waiting room of the hospital, Diao received unexpected news from a nurse. His heart leaped with hope as he learned that his mother had regained consciousness. Little did he know that this encounter would mark the final time he would see Bua. Unaware of the impending twist of fate, Diao couldn't anticipate that the next conversation with his mother would align with the very moment Bua had to bid farewell to her boyfriend. Before parting ways, Bua left a heartfelt letter for Diao, expressing her joy over his mother's recovery and assuring him that she would watch his movie at the theater. For 2 weeks, Diao's mother remained in the ICU, clinging to life. Afterward, she was moved to a regular room, where Diao faithfully spent 2 months by her side. Throughout those days, thoughts of Bua never ceased to occupy his mind. He wondered about her whereabouts, yearning to know what she was up to. In the depths of his heart, Diao hoped that Bua wouldn't succumb to the clutches of sorrow, while also secretly longing for her to miss him in return. As time slipped away, Diao anxiously awaited the release of his movie, eagerly anticipating the moment he could witness his creation on the big screen. Meanwhile, Bua hurried to the movie theater, determined to fulfill her promise to Diao. Unfortunately, fate seemed to conspire against her, causing her to arrive late. As she entered the theater, the movie was already playing, and to her dismay, Diao was nowhere to be found. Little did she know that destiny had a surprise in store for them. In the midst of the screening, Diao stepped out to take a work-related call, only to come face-to-face with Bua, who was in line, purchasing tickets for the next show. This unexpected reunion sent shivers down their spines, a twist of fate that made Diao believe he had finally found his happy ending in the story of his life. Moral lesson from the movie: life is full of unexpected challenges, but with determination and resilience, we can overcome them and find new paths to success. Along the way, we may encounter unforeseen connections and opportunities that shape our journey, and even in uncertain times, fate can bring us the happiness and fulfillment we desire.